In October 2022, Avraham Eisenberg tweeted about how he had made a lot of money with a clever cryptocurrency trading strategy. And he specifically tweeted that it is not illegal to be smarter than your counterparties. In December 2022, he was arrested, and he's now facing charges from the SEC, the CFTC, and the Department of Justice. And this has caused some cryptocurrency traders to ask, wait a second, when does a clever trading strategy become a crime? So today I'm going to talk about what Avraham Eisenberg did, why the SEC and other federal government agencies think that it's a crime, and finally, what cryptocurrency traders can do to make sure that they stay on the right side of the law. This case involves the MNGO token, which is a cryptocurrency token that is traded on the Solana blockchain. According to the SEC, what Eisenberg did is he invested in a futures position on an online marketplace called the MNGO marketplace. The nature of the futures investment was that the individual futures contract would go up in value if the MNGO token went up in value relative to a stablecoin called USDC. So according to the SEC, what Eisenberg then did is go to a number of different cryptocurrency exchanges and buy MNGO tokens at increasing amounts of money. This caused the value of the MNGO token listed on these various exchanges to rapidly increase, which caused the value of the futures investment to rapidly increase. Eisenberg then took these futures contracts and used them as collateral to borrow. And he borrowed $116 million worth of various digital assets and then took them all off the cryptocurrency exchange on which he had made these loans. And according to the SEC, once he took the $116 million worth of digital assets, he had no intent of ever paying them back. This story does not end there. And in fact, it's what happened next that makes this a very interesting and unique case. Many holders of MNGO tokens at that time were members of a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO. And as members of this DAO, they participated in regular communications on message boards about various proposals and actions that they can take as a group. After this large number of digital assets had been removed by Eisenberg, a number of the holders of the MNGO tokens proposed that they agree not to pursue civil or criminal charges against whoever it was that had taken these digital assets if a certain amount of the digital assets were returned. This proposal was put to a vote, and while the voting was going on, Eisenberg took $10 million worth of USDC, of the cryptocurrency stablecoin, and he transferred it into a wallet or wallets that were controlled by members of the MNGO DAO. The vote then passed, and after the proposal was passed, $57 million worth of additional cryptocurrency assets were transferred by Eisenberg to digital wallets that were controlled by members of the MNGO DAO. Eisenberg kept about $49 million worth of the digital assets, and shortly after he had made that transfer, a couple days later, he revealed his identity, he asserted that his trades had been legal, and he said that it is not improper to understand a financial product better than the people who invented that product. The SEC has now charged Eisenberg with market manipulation. The SEC's analysis begins by concluding that the MNGO tokens were securities because they are investment contracts. The SEC then reasons that because the MNGO tokens are securities, and because the trading activity that Eisenberg allegedly engaged in was intended to deceptively manipulate the price of the MNGO tokens by going to multiple different cryptocurrency exchanges and making it look like there was much higher market demand than there actually was, which was intended to increase the price of the MNGO tokens, that this was not a clever trading strategy, it was against the law. And the SEC specifically concluded that this deceptive and manipulative trading activity violated Section 9A of the Exchange Act, Section 10B of the Exchange Act, and Rule 10b-5, which is a rule that is promulgated under the Exchange Act. There are several lessons that traders in digital assets and cryptocurrency investors should take away from the SEC's case against Eisenberg. The first is that it's critical to always consider whether a cryptocurrency token is a security, because it's often the case that people selling a cryptocurrency token will represent that it is not a security, but sometimes they're wrong. They may be mistaken, or they may even be making an intentional misrepresentation about whether the token is a security. It's also possible that they're right and it is not a security, but other people may disagree with them, whether it is a civil litigant or even the SEC, because after all, the SEC is capable of making mistakes. The second lesson to take from this is that if you're engaging in a trading strategy that basically functions by causing other market participants to be deceived or confused about the level of demand in the marketplace for a cryptocurrency token, such as causing the cryptocurrency price to artificially be increased or artificially be decreased, you should consider whether or not that trading strategy isn't a clever trading strategy, but is actually against the law or even a crime. The third thing to consider is specifically related to a DAO. So in this case, there were negotiations after the trading activity between what appeared to be a decentralized autonomous organization and Eisenberg. And Eisenberg appears to have thought that he entered into a binding agreement where there would be no criminal or civil charges brought in connection with his trading activity. But it's always difficult to determine whether or not an agreement with a decentralized autonomous organization is actually binding. Certainly in a case where there are negotiations over potential criminal charges, it will often be the case that the agreement would not be binding. But in any case, it is difficult to know whether a resolution that is proposed on some board and voted on will actually be binding on members of the decentralized autonomous organization. So these are all tricky legal questions, but good news, I'm a lawyer. So if you have any legal questions about potential cryptocurrency transactions that you want to engage in or that you've already engaged in, feel free to give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you about it.